It's my birthday, and it's going to be a big one. I'm 65 years young, and I want to celebrate. And so, what I'm doing is I want to share 8 ways that authors sabotage their success, the challenges that come up, and then I'm going to share at the end how I can help you. But first, I want to ask you a question. Have you ever been stressed, confused, overwhelmed, trying to write or launch a book or use a book to grow your business? If you have, you're definitely not alone. So maybe you didn't know where to start, or you got analysis paralysis and put it on the back burner. I see that a lot. I've been there myself. Or maybe you had specific questions that weren't getting answered. Questions like, should I write a book or an ebook? Do I need an author's page or not? Do I need a website or a sales page? Or should I do a KDP select launch or a countdown launch? You know, there's a lot of steps on the way to becoming an author, launching a book, and using a book to grow your business. And so it can be difficult. Or maybe, you know, your book just isn't supporting your business the way that you'd like it to, and you're working harder than you wanted to. So what I want to know is, are you tired of trying to do it alone? Are you overwhelmed by the amount of conflicting information that you get, not knowing which way to turn, not knowing who to trust? Have you thought about hiring a coach, but you thought maybe you couldn't afford it? Well, I'm Ellen Violette, and I'm going to walk you through this today. So I want you to know that I've personally helped over 300 people now write a book, and thousands more through my trainings, my videos, and speaking. I've done over 25 #1 bestseller launches with 100% success rate with people who followed my system step by step. And I've coached students from beginning to end, from making a couple thousand a month to almost 100,000 in a year, and even working with high income clients making 6 figures already, who just wanted to make more money and were stressed out because their business wasn't functioning well. And so we restructured it. So we took the business, the book, and made them work together. And I had one client who had just had a baby, and she wanted to spend more time with her baby. She was burned out on her business, and she was ready to give up. And then we restructured it, and she was thrilled. So making more money, less hours, and happier. Now, just to let you know more about who I am, I've been a guest speaker, and basically what I know is I've been a guest speaker for some of the top experts and events, including I've spoken at Mega Book University with Mark Victor Hansen, Women's Speaker Association, Guerrilla Marketing with the late J. Conrad Levinson. I've been a guest speaker several times for Alex Mendosian, virtual book tours, teleseminar secrets, Google Hangouts, and many more. Terry Levine, Entrepreneurs, I've been on her TV and radio show. She's considered one of the best women coaches in the business. And then some other book type experts, Daniel Hall, Jay Boyer, John Rhodes, and many, many more. I've also been a teacher at University of Masters. I've spoken at summits with experts like Perry Marshall, Jim Edwards, Ali Brown, Mari Smith, Armin Morin, David Ricklin, Jay Fissett, Gina Gapolini, Melanie Benson, Steve Ulsher, and many others. And I've been doing this a long time. I've been doing this since 2004, and I actually was, in those days, books and ebooks were considered different, and I was the very first ebook coach. And along the way, I've picked up 3 ELIT awards. I'm the winner of the Be the Change Award for Publishing and Business Coaching. I'm a regular contributor to Published Magazine, which I think we've been doing since 2011. I'm a Grammy-nominated songwriter, and you may think, what does that have to do with anything? But what it trained me to do was to be able to play with words and come up with great hooks, and it serves me very well, helping my clients come up with #1 best-selling titles. And I've opened the doors and changed lives through book publishing and business, building for my clients, customers, and students across the globe. And I'm telling you this not to impress you, but so that you'll know that I know what I'm talking about, and that you'll have confidence that I really am an expert when it comes to books, business, and abundance, and I really can help you. And you can trust what I'm saying. And what I've found is that there's so many ways that authors and aspiring authors can trip themselves up and sabotage their success. And what I want to do is I want to talk about some of these challenges and what happens in the self-sabotage. And it's not always your fault. Matter of fact, most of the time it's not your fault, but it still happens. And so I want to go through these and give you a little bit of insight into this. So the first one is, I think, the hardest. It's getting stuck and giving up. And believe me, it's happened to me more than once, not for my overall business, but for specific things that I was trying to accomplish in my business. So the most painful one was that I couldn't get access to an instructor after I'd paid for this course. It was, this one I think was home study, without paying high five figures. Was it high five figures? Well, 5 figures. And traveling to his hometown, you know, having to pay for my hotel room, airfare, meals. And at the time, that just seemed insane to me. But when I look back, I wish that I had done it, because the truth is I didn't realize the value of it at that point in time. And I just thought spending that amount of money, which is about 10 grand, was crazy. And now I see, though, you know, if I had done that, it was years ago, I would have been having a whole lot of passive income years earlier and a lot less struggle, been a lot happier. But I didn't understand the power of coaching, and I didn't understand that it was actually a really good investment. So I don't want price to be a barrier to you, because it definitely did stop me at that time. So, and here's the thing, the truth is that if you can't figure it out on your own, you need a coach. You need a coach. That's all there is to it. And working with the coach one-on-one gives you that specialized information that you need, that's going to be important for your business. And not every business is the same. I mean, if you've got a really good business, the chances are it's not like any other business. And so you need information that's going to work for your business, not some generic blueprint, because it has to be individualized so that you can do what you're trying to do as quickly and easily as possible. So challenge number 2 is not having a system. So it takes a long time, and it can be stressful and overwhelming, and you might finish and reach your goal, and you might not finish and reach your goal. But the truth is, I had a colleague, this was years ago, and he wrote a book, and he didn't have a system. He didn't know what he was doing, but he thought he could just write a book. And he eventually wrote the book, but what happened was that he was so miserable writing the book that he never wanted to write another book again. And he said, I'm never writing another book. And that's really a shame, because multiple books, you know, give you a lot more passive income, and every time you promote one, the other ones sell well also. And it's just one less thing that you now have in your you know, bag of tricks to do, because you didn't do it right. And that really breaks my heart, actually. So number 3 is perfectionism. And, you know, we all have some perfectionism. In fact, having some perfectionism is what will help make you successful, but you can go overboard. And too many authors never think that their work is ready, and they need another set of eyes to tell them when it's ready to move forward, because they'll just keep you know, working and working and working. And if you've never heard of the 80-20 rule, the 80-20 rule says that, you know, you're going to get, well, usually it's 80% of the, if you go 80%, that last 20% isn't going to help you all that much. And so when you get to that point where you're, you know, nitpicking, it's not really moving you forward. So you really want to get over that. And so really you want to think about progress and not perfection. So, you know, here's an example where I didn't go for perfection. I went for progress, but that doesn't mean there are times when I go overboard, because I do. But I wrote a book called How to Write a Quick Nonfiction Book, guaranteed from a PowerPoint. And I think I did it from the PowerPoint and from also the webinar training that I'd done with it. And it was 50 pages. And I put it up on Kindle, and it became a #1 bestseller. Now, this year, I'm actually updating that book. It's got a new name. It's now part of a series. But I've added a whole lot of information to it, because that was written in 2014, I think. And so now it's, you know, 4 years later. And now it's 80 pages. So I didn't wait for it to be perfect. I still got the results that I wanted from it. Does it have all 5-star reviews? No. You know, it has some 4 and even 3-star reviews. It probably maybe even has a 1-star review. I don't remember. But the point is I didn't wait, and it did what it needed to do for my business, and it doesn't mean I can't make it better. So you don't want to deal with perfectionism. But there are other times when I get really caught up in my head because I'm thinking in that perfectionistic way. And that's when I need my coach to tell me to get off it and get it done. And you need that too. Number 4 is procrastination. So I don't have a big problem with procrastination in general. I'm always working on something. But sometimes, yeah, there are times where I'll put a specific goal or project off because there's something I don't want to face. But I've had clients where they've written 4 or 5 books and never published any of them, or they've taken years. I had one client who took 5 years to write her book, even though I teach it to do it in a 3-day weekend. So part of the problem is too many authors wait too long to ask for help because they're procrastinating, because they're afraid of something. They may know what it is that they're afraid of. They may not know what it is they're afraid of, but either way, they're procrastinating and it's not getting done. So that's definitely one of the challenges. Another one is you don't have the information that you need to make a good decision and to be successful. So for some reason, unlike so many other endeavors, people think they can write or launch a book without knowing anything, like they can just go do it. And for most people, that's just not the case. So think about it. Like when you learned to ride a bike, if you did, I did, it started out with training wheels. And then once those were ready to come off, I still needed my mom to help me steady myself while I started to get the idea of it. So I didn't do it on my own. And I'll tell you something, when I started writing books, I didn't do it on my own. I went and I interviewed people, I talked to people, I saw what people were doing, and I synthesized the information. And then I started teaching my own workshop. And in that first workshop, I only had 2 people. And at the time I was devastated, but when it was over, I was grateful that I only had 2 people, because one of them said to me, well, I love your process, everything you taught me, but I still didn't learn how to exactly write it. And I was all indignant, like, what do you mean you didn't learn to write it? Well, I taught them how to find their target market and how their passions and all the stuff you got to put in it, but I didn't have a real process for the writing part at that time. And so I went and I studied with a coach and I developed my own, and I have now taught that workshop 30 times since 2004. And whenever somebody would say to me, well, I need this and I don't see that in whatever this is, maybe like an author's permission slip, and I don't see it in the course, and I would add it. So imagine, over all those years, how much information is in there. But, and yet people think they can just go do it and it's going to be, good the first time and be a bestseller. And a lot of times that's just not the case. And there are people out there, and I've talked about, the myths about writing books and everything, but there are people who think, oh, it's so easy and anyone can do it. Well, I have a team now, and I didn't used to, but I do. And they were doing bestseller launches before they met me. And one of my clients went to them and said, I'm doing a bestseller launch. I'm going to do it with Ellen Violette. And they said, yeah, right. She said, I'm going to be a #1 best-selling author next week. Yeah, right. And she said, no, I am. And we did it, and we got her to #1. And they were like, oh, they came to me and they go, well, how do you do that? And I said, well, it's all in the way I set it up and all the stuff that I do. And they go, well, great. So let's team up. And that's what we did. So they can do what they do, which is great, and getting it in all the right places. And I get it set up and do all the strategy. So, but it's having all that information and knowing what to do that makes people successful first, the first time. So the next one is getting bad information. And this one just irritates the hell out of me. So I read an article. This is example #1. I have a few of them. I read an article the other day on BookBaby. And, that's a very reputable site. And the author wrote this article, and the first 3 steps to writing his book were, #1, figure out where you're most comfortable writing. 2, pick your writing tools. And 3, create your outline. And I just about blew my top, because that is just such, not only is it's such bad advice, but also I see this a lot. I see a lot of book people saying, we'll start by creating your outline, have a brain dump, figure out, what you want to write about. Wrong. That's not how you become a successful writer. You've got to do the research. You've got to figure out what you're going to write about that has the potential to be profitable, that's different from what's already out there. And that's why publishers have book proposals, because that's part of what you say in there. You've got to decide and discover who your target market is. First you discover, and then you decide which one you want if there's more than one. Then you figure out how to connect with them with the language that you plan to use in your title and your description. You pick your best categories and keywords. I haven't said one word about writing yet. And, you know, when I did my first, for those of you who've been around for a long time know, when I did my first virtual ebook expo, one of the people that I interviewed was Jim Edwards. And he gave me the best advice ever. And this was, you know, 12 years ago. And he said, if you want to be a successful writer, you have to be a marketer first. And this is what you have to do. These 3 steps that I just laid out here that most book people don't even talk about. So, you know, it's really important that you have the right information. Example number 2, I saw a post from a top-notch, well-established expert that asked if it was ethical to ask family and friends for reviews for your book on Amazon. And here's the deal. Whether it's ethical or not, it doesn't matter, because Amazon doesn't like it. And if they think that you're getting reviews from family or close friends, and I don't know how they decide who's a close friend and who's just a regular friend, they will give you a warning. And I know because they gave me one. And I even asked them, I don't know who that is. Can you help me out? And they were like, no, we won't tell you. So, you know, that was pretty interesting. But the bottom line is, you know, if they will shut you down once they've given you a, you know, a warning. And so this guy, who is very well respected, was essentially leading people to believe that they could do something that could get them banned from Amazon. So again, that's the thing is, you know, when people don't understand what they're talking about, you know, he's great with teaching people how to write, I guess, in other ways, but doesn't understand Amazon. So you have to understand that. And number 3, I worked with a well-known coach who's written several books. And again, we were talking, and so he started teaching how to write a book. So again, we were talking one day, and I was telling him something. He was saying, oh, I didn't know that. And I was like, oh God, he's teaching people how to write books and he doesn't know this. And again, it was, you know, something that I teach that has to do with becoming a bestseller on Amazon. So you got to know this stuff. And that's why you need to stick to what you really know and be honest with people about what you know and what you don't know. So challenge number 7 is you don't know what you don't know. So if you're not an expert on writing and marketing books in the 21st century, you're probably making a lot of mistakes and you don't even know it. So, you know, one of those was the example I just gave with my coach. Another one is I recently received a manuscript from a, quote, expert who had, in her mind, written a book. But she was asking me for feedback, but she had done it all wrong because she didn't understand how people read books and how people decide which books to buy on Amazon. So here's the thing. You know, when I work with people, a lot of the work that I do comes before they even write the book, even though it's what they need to do to be a bestseller. It's not like you write the book and then you decide, I want to be a bestseller and start marketing. It's much better if you know that you want to do that and you do some of the marketing pieces that I do with people first, then you do the book, and then you finish the marketing. Okay, so she didn't realize that she was wasting a lot of really good real estate selling people in the front of her book, and all it was going to do was turn people off, and it was not going to make sales for her. So again, you know, it was ignorance, and she didn't know that she didn't know that. And then the last one is authors' lack of experience around publishing. So many authors don't know what to look for when they're looking for a coach or a publishing company. And I got to tell you, I mean, I've heard every horror story out there that there is. And most of the bad ones are good at making authors feel like they're going to get a good deal when they're getting a bad deal and they're getting taken. I've had people come to me, I had a woman come to me, she spent $20,000. She hadn't made a single sale. She was in tears and she said, I wish I'd found you. And she was feeling like, I can't spend any more money. Well, that's not true. You can, but you don't trust yourself because you got taken. So, you know, if you could come to me first, it's better. But if not, you know, I always go back with my clients, like if they've done a bestseller and then they come to me, then I have to go back and we start at the beginning to catch them up on the marketing they should have done in the first place. But I think the biggest shiny object with publishing companies is that they'll say, we'll market for you. But as I said, most of them don't have a clue how to market on Kindle. And a lot of them, their idea of marketing is maybe they'll have a website and they put all their books on there and they say, we're marketing for you. And it's really nothing, you know, or very little. So, you know, if you do ever go to a publishing company, you definitely want to find out exactly what they mean when they say, we're going to market for you. and you definitely want to shop pricing so that you know what you're getting is worth getting. I had another client come back to me who I'd worked with on her book, and she was deciding between two marketing companies. She didn't want to do anything herself, and one was going to charge her $10,000, one was going to charge her $20,000. And I told her, you know, I asked her first, you know, what are they going to do for you? And I told her they just don't sound reputable to me at all. And she ended up not going with either one of them. I don't know what she ended up doing. I guess she may come back and we'll talk about it some more. But she, you know, realized that they were not good deals. And the problem is that they know that authors like the idea of having someone else do the marketing for them. I mean, yeah, it would be great if all you had to do was write and not have to do anything else, but it's just not the way it is anymore. And even the big companies, you know, rarely give you a big advance anymore. You have to be somebody really big and, you know, to get their attention. And it's the same with any business where there's royalties and it's that kind of a setup. I know because I was in the music business for 20 years. And I worked with a music writer who was signed to a major company, but he was not their major star writer, and he still had to hustle. So, and you know, you just still have to hustle, and especially now with social media and everything, it's just not possible to not do any marketing of your own. People want to know you. You know, when they know you, like you, and trust you, they do business with you. So if you're not doing any of it, how are they going to get to know you? So that's the problem with that. And, you know, 85% of ebooks are sold on Kindle, and Kindle has Matchbook where people buy the book, they can get the ebook at the same time, you know, at a very reduced price. So they have specific things that they're doing to help you get more sales. And yet I'm still seeing authors come to me who say, do I really have to have a Kindle book? And what I'll say to them is, who's your favorite author? And whoever it is will go look up their books. And of course they have a Kindle book, because everybody has a Kindle book now. You have Kindle books, and then if you can afford to also have physical books, great, have both. But if you can't, then you'll start with a Kindle book because they're cheaper to produce and they're easier to promote. So here's the deal. I mean, if you're like me, you probably already spent quite a bit of money on your education and business. Probably not as much as I have. I've spent almost $100,000 now. And the sad truth is that a lot of it didn't work. And some of that was my fault. Some of that was other people's fault. So here's why. Here's the main ones. One, I didn't take action fast enough. So I had too much on my plate at one time, and there was no accountability. And so it's sad. And I'm thinking of, there was one particular program that I bought. It was a $2,000 program. It was on social media. And by the time I got around to using it, it was obsolete. That was devastating. I bought a piece of software. By the time I got around to use it, they'd sold it and there was no support, $500 down the drain. So, I mean, that sucks. And then no individual attention. This is so important. So, you know, if I bought a home study course or I was in a group coaching program, that doesn't mean that a generic way of doing something is going to necessarily work in every aspect for my particular business. Okay. Now, if you're trying to write a book, for instance, I have several ways that I've written books, several ways that I teach people to write books, because not everybody can do it the same way. There are people who love to write, and there are people who hate to write, and there are people who can't write. So, you know, but maybe they love to speak. So maybe we'll do it from a training, or maybe we'll do it from blog posts. I mean, there are all different ways to do it. So it's not one size fits all. But if somebody were to go through my 3 Days to Ebook Cash program, they're going to learn how to write their own book using a writing process. Now, you know, but like I said, I mean, sometimes you need something more specific that's going to work for your business. As a matter of fact, I was on a training call with my coach, and he was offering a program, and I've been sick, and so my throat gets kind of hoarse sometimes. So just bear with me here. I'll have to take some water. And I said, look, you know, I run a business, and there are very specific things that are not working the way I'd like them to work in my business. Can you help me? And he said, yes, I can help you, but this group program isn't for you. Because again, you're going to get this program, and that's not what you need. You need specific things for your business. Okay, so And we all need that at certain times. We need that individual attention for our businesses. So if anybody tries to tell you, across the board, doesn't matter who you are, what stage you're at, this is automatically going to work for you, that's not necessarily true. And then number 3 is the price of the investment. So, maybe sometimes it seemed out of my price range, or I thought it was out of my price range, when really I just wasn't willing to spend it, or I didn't see the value in it. And as I said, looking back, I wasted a lot of valuable time because I didn't understand that it was really a good investment and would have gotten me where I wanted to go a lot faster. It was a big mistake, and I don't do that anymore. That's why as soon as I saw, like, my mind was spinning. With me, it was analysis paralysis. My mind was spinning. I knew that there were pieces I didn't have that I needed right then. I just got right on the phone, went to my coach, who I hadn't worked with in a while, and just said, I need some more coaching right now. And we just, my business had changed, my funnel had changed, and now it was like, okay, we'll set it up this way. Great. Now I'm just like putting it together the way I was told to put together, because that's the other thing, you got to be coachable. And sometimes I honestly thought I didn't need coaching. And the reason is I wasn't getting the right coaches. So there have been times in my business where there was a disconnect, where I would go to somebody and they had a program and it sounded good. And so I started to take it. And then I realized that, oh, you know what? I don't really want to go in that direction. Now, what that means is, and so what happened from there is I thought, oh, well, I know as much as these people do, and I can, I help my clients get to 6 figures and they're becoming millionaires. I can do this for myself. And to a degree, at that point, I could do it to myself. But then there came a point where I could no longer do it for myself. So that's what I'm saying, is there are going to be gaps and times in your business where you need coaching. In truth, individual coaching is critical to your success. If you've only taken coaching programs that are group coaching programs, that's not enough. I guarantee you. Like I said, I've been doing this 14 years. I know. So what I want to do is I want to share some case studies with you for what's possible when you get coaching. So I've worked with coaching students in various different ways. In my Dash for Cash program, which is a 90-day program that I work with people where they can get something substantial done, as opposed to a single consult or a particular program, because again, it's individualized because I'm giving them what they need right now. So I recently worked with a psychotherapist. She's working 3 days a week, really long hours with individual clients. And then she's working on her first, I think it's her second book, actually, but she's working on her book 2 days a week. She's already in her 70s, and she doesn't want to keep working so hard as she's getting older, and she definitely doesn't want to do it with one-on-one clients. So what we ended up doing was we tried on different things, and nothing felt right to her. And finally, we came on to, because we were trying to find, what's that thing where I don't have to work so hard and that I know I'm going to do, because that's the other thing when I work with people. I can give you all kinds of ways that you could accomplish what you want to accomplish, but if it's something you're not going to do, it's not going to work for you. And I'll give you an example. Some people do Facebook Lives every single day, and she works 3 days a week. So that was one of the things that wasn't going to work for her. And then another thing was we looked at LinkedIn, and she knew that she just wasn't going to follow through with that, and she didn't want to outsource it. So we just kept talking, and finally we came up with podcasting, and she got really excited. She thought, I would love to do that. So that's what we're doing for her, is teaching her how to use podcasting and her books as her main lead generators. So that's what we were able to accomplish with her. It's getting her set up and ready to go. Now she's working on finishing her book, and then she's ready to move forward again, and we'll do some more coaching. This case study is Marianne Kelly, and Marianne Kelly is also in her 70s. Now she was older. I don't even know if she still is, but she had a lifelong dream to become an author, and she fulfilled it at age 72. She thought she would never get there, and then she worked with me, and she has now written 3 books, a series called The Molly Chronicles, does book signings and has created some products as well. And she did go through my course, but we've also worked on the side. Here's one of her book covers. And here's she did doggy bag gifts for Christmas that go with her book. Next was Dennis G. Shaver. Dennis dreamt of becoming a #1 best-selling author. he had this vision that he wanted to get Kevin Harrington to be his mentor, and he wanted to speak and travel the world. And he has done that. His book is The Entrepreneurial Incubator. It's been on the bestseller list for over a year. And his intention was to meet Kevin Harrington. He did that. He went to a conference and met him and carried his book around. And Kevin saw the book, loved it, brought him up on stage, talked to him, worked with him, and he has become his mentor. And as they say, the rest is history. He's gone on to use his book to then use that credibility to get people into a summit that he did. And then from there, he got a speaking gig on stage in Singapore and having a really great time. He also consults with big companies, and he's just doing a fabulous job because he took the initiative. He had a vision, he had a dream, he took the steps, and I helped him get there. Whenever we talk, he'll say to me, that working with me was a miracle for him. And there he is with Kevin Harrington and his book. He's so cute. Okay, next is Paul Sterling. Paul had dreams of a world where relationships work. And his book, Argue Less, Love More, 5 Communication Secrets for Couples Who Want Less Pain and More Passion, went to #1 in 5 categories, became a bestseller in 9 categories. And I just, again, want to show you what's possible. So here he is hanging out with Mary Ann Williamson at an interview type situation, I think it was. Let's see how cool that is. You get to meet people. It gives you all this credibility. Books open doors and give you amazing opportunities. One last one, Connie Reagan Green. Some of you may know her. She was in real estate when she actually came to me. She started with one of my marketing programs, and she's gone on to become an internet expert. And the last time I talked to her, she said she was very close to becoming a millionaire. So anything is possible. It just depends what your dream is. And, we can work on that and let me know what it is that you envision. And if I can help you, I will. So now it's your turn. You can be, do, or have whatever you want. You just have to know what that dream is. You have to have the vision. You have to decide who can help you get there, and then take action. And if writing books, launching books, using books to grow your business is what you want, then I'm here to help. So I want to share a few testimonials. Let's see, this one is with Jerry Chambers, and she said, if you would simply listen to Ellen and let her steer you in the right direction, even if you're not sold on her idea in the beginning, because she wasn't sold on the title that I came up for her book. It's what's best because she knows the business better than anyone out there. Do what works. And Jerry wrote the #1 bestseller, Bossy, 8 Steps to Take You from Paycheck to Prosperity with a Home-Based Business. She did not like the title at first, Bossy. And it was so funny because right about the time when I came up with it, Amy Poehler came out and made some comment about how much she loved bossy women, and all of a sudden it clicked for Jerry. She got it, and then we went with it, and it's been huge for her, and got her some, ended up getting her a publicist who then made her one of the top people to follow on Twitter. So you just never know. Next, thanks so much for helping me see the Hawk's view. I truly was lost in the thicket of confusion. I now see my path to completion. That's Helen Sherry, who's a PhD licensed marriage and family counselor. And her book is Nurture Your Dreams, Live and Grow and Thrive. Next is Kim Thornton, who I've worked with many times. And Kim said, I always love working with Ellen because she gets me. We spent only 30 minutes together, and she was able to show me more quick and easy options to make money fast and easy. Being an entrepreneur, there are many things we miss due to our workload, but she made it easy. Thank you, Ellen, once again to the rescue. And the reason I wanted to share this one is because that was just in 30 minutes. Imagine what we can do with more time. And that's my mission, to get you the right information that you need to write, launch, and use your book to grow your business, to change your life, to change the life of as many other people as you can, make the world a better place, have a bigger impact, and make it easy. That's what I do. So I want to make this available to anyone who's serious and wants this. So here's the deal. I charge $500 an hour for a single coaching session, but that is not cost effective if you have a project that you want to complete and it's going to take more than one session. And the reason that I charge $500 an hour is I really discourage people from doing that, because for most people, that is not the best way to go anyway, because most people need more than one consultation. So that's why I created my 90-day Dash for Cash program. With that program, you can pick a project and complete it, okay, in that time frame. So whether you need help writing your book, launching your book, turning it into a high-end coaching program, or learning how to market your book to grow your business, that's what the Dash for Cash program is designed to do. And I wanted to make it affordable and doable so that I can help more people and impact more lives. So 90 days gives you enough time to really, sink your teeth into something and do something significant. And what I've done is the Dash for Cash program, rather than paying for single consults, is at a lower price. So it's 50% off. So it's you get either twice as much coaching for $500 an hour, or you can come in at $250 and do it that way. And I'll explain it in a more easy to understand way in a minute. But plus, for my birthday, I'm giving an extra month of coaching as my birthday present to you. So there are two levels. There's gold, so you get 2 30-minute calls a month for $250 a month. So that's 50% off, because normally you would pay $500 for a single one, and that's for a 3-month commitment. Or platinum, which is 2 60-minute calls a month, and that is $500 a month for 3 months. But now you're getting 2 hours a month, right? So you're getting 6 calls as opposed to you're getting 6 calls, but the point is that you're getting it. Each one is at half that price of what you would pay normally for that. So it's 50% off. Okay, so here's how it works. In the first session, we're going to decide what it is that you want to accomplish, and then we're going to create a plan to do that. And then the rest of the calls, we're going to be implementing it and giving you accountability. And if we come to a snag in the road, and I was saying with the psychotherapist, we were going in one direction, then we kept running into roadblocks, and we just kept going in other directions till we found the right one. And if we can't come up with a plan that works for you and you're not comfortable with it, you can receive 100% of your money back, and you can cancel out of the program. So there's no risk to you. Because you'll see, either we're a fit or we're not, either we're on a track or we're not, and you feel like we'll get there or we won't, and that's it. And then you're also going to receive some very cool bonus gifts, because as I said, it is my birthday. You're going to receive a guest interview spot on my Books, Business, and Abundance podcast, and I'm so excited about this. I've been working on it for quite a long time. The first one is at my audio editor right now. I'm waiting for it to come back and see all the pieces put together, and once I have the prototype and we're ready to go, we're going to go. We're looking to launch in June. Number 2 is free publicity to my entire community of over 30,000 people, whether it's for you finishing writing your book, doing a launch, or some other project that we work on. But I prefer that it's evergreen, because it will help you more if it's something people can go to anytime. And then bonus number 3 is Joint Venturing Secrets, Mastering the Keys to Financial Freedom. And the reason I want to give you that is because there are a few ways to grow your business, and some of them cost money, some of them don't, and the best way to do it without spending money is joint venturing. And so that's why I want you to have that. So those are the 3 gifts that you're going to get. And so it's time, it's time. So you got to think, do you really want to spend months or years trying to figure out how to write or market your book, or use your book to grow your business? You have to answer that. I can't answer it for you. I have 14 years of experience in every aspect of book writing, launching, marketing, and using books to grow to grow a high-income business. This is what I do day in and day out. So imagine never doubting whether you could become a #1 best-selling author, grow your business of your dreams, stopping stress and overwhelm, and having the peace of mind knowing that you're getting it right the first time, and getting expert advice and guidance every step of the way, so that you can get where you're trying to go as quickly and easily as possible. If you're ready, I hope you'll take advantage of this birthday celebration, an opportunity to work with me and get personalized attention and handholding to either write your book, launch your book, use your book to grow your business, integrate your book with your business, change your business model, whatever it is that you need to do to get where you're trying to go, and it's not happening. Okay, so if you're ready to do that, I want you to scroll down and let's get it done. Okay, you can order. The gold is 2 30-minute calls a month for 3 months. It's at Ellen Likes. It's http://ellenlikes.com//4-cash-30. That's for the 30 minutes. Or platinum to 60-minute calls a month. And that's http://ellenlikes.com//4-cash-60. And the order buttons are right below this video. And you can read it there. And then if you need help or you've got questions, you're not quite sure if this is for you, you want to be more sure, you can call the office at 818-970-6132, and I can take your order over the phone if you're having trouble registering or just prefer to do it that way. Or you can send an email to me at ellen@booksbusinessabundance.com with your name, time zone, phone number, and the best times to reach you, and then I can call you back and do it that way. And I'll also answer any questions that you may have. So that's it for today. I hope that you've enjoyed this presentation and that you'll scroll down and enroll in the program. Remember, there's no risk to you if it's not working for you. We'll do the first call, we'll see how it goes. If it's not working, you get your money back. So that's how sure I am of what I do for my clients, and I know I can help you. So if you're serious and you're committed, let's just do it, okay? That's it. I hope I'll see you in the program. Bye-bye.